Hey, welcome back to this edition of Aspire. We're sailing the high seas on a particularly bright and sunny day off the coast of Mumbai. But here we are talking about the world of tech. We are meeting Brian Devlin. He, of course, has been in the audio industry for the last 2 decades, selling and marketing products for brands like Bose and now Bowers & Wilkins. He talks about the changing landscape of the industry and also about the portable products that have become the norm.
Brian, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, Bowers & Wilkins have been available in the country for close to 15 years. But this is the first time I'm actually getting to meet a company representative in India to actually demo some new products. So India seems to be an important market for you guys now.
Yeah, India is a very exciting market for us. I think one of the things that's kind of changed and one of the big developments that we're seeing in music and audio systems today is that music is more available than it's ever been in history. And more people are able to access more and more music more easily than ever before. And as a result of that, there's opportunity for us to reach more consumers. And now I think is the right time for us to do that in India.
Yeah, but you're known for your loudspeakers and you're all over the Abbey Road studios and you're pretty famous. But now we're seeing some headphones, earphones and a portable speaker. That's a little unusual for Bowers & Wilkins, isn't it?
It's certainly unusual, but don't forget, we have a legacy of about 50 years. We've been at the very, very high end of the industry. And before we got into this part of the business, there was really some big discussions of the company. Should we ever be here? Because let's face it, a lot of people thought the quality of the audio sources weren't good enough to have our products in there. But what we realized after Apple changed forever how we listen to music with the invention of the iPod back in 2004, 2005, we realized, wow, are we going to let this opportunity pass us by? So we then decided that we cannot change how people choose to listen to music. But what we decided to do is, let's find a way that we can make the experience better. Absolutely. And that's when we introduced the very first product in that line, the Zeppelin.
And that's the Zeppelin, which was announced back in 2007,
Correct.
Right? And through those years, I think this is one of the products that made Bowers & Wilkins more of a household name. But what's interesting is that now you don't have any new docks. That's also changing, right? It was all about docks a couple of years ago, and it's now all about portable Bluetooth speakers and AirPlay.
Well, that's correct. Actually, something very interesting did happen back in 2007 because what we didn't know, we introduced a product that was twice the price of the most successful product in the category at the time. And people were walking into stores that never had Bowers & Wilkins product before. So people were actually buying this product not because they knew who we were. In fact, they had no clue who we were. They were buying it because they loved how it sounded and it had an iconic look. And what was fascinating was they would go home after purchasing the product. They'd be even happier when they took it home. And then they Googled Bowers & Wilkins. And all of a sudden they realized who we were. Yeah. And they said, no wonder this sounds so good because of our heritage of 50 years making some of the finest loudspeakers in the world.
Now, most of us, when it comes to flat screen TVs, when it comes to visual experience, you can tell the difference between full HD and 4K because you can visually see the experience. But when it comes to that discerning ear, when it comes to audio, do you think people have actually acquired that taste yet, or there is still some time for that to get that discerning ear and to truly appreciate better audio?
I think audio has come a long way. The whole digital age that we're in right now has really opened the world up to, first of all, better quality music and better quality systems. The difference between, average systems and really great audio systems in this still exists today. But one thing I would say is, more and more people are having better reference standards to listen to music on. Many, many years ago, they'd be listening to it on small little radios. Now they're listening to it on high-quality digital systems. But there's still a lot more room for them to grow. Yeah. And our belief now is that we have opportunities to introduce people to great quality sound through our new media products like the Zeppelin, the A5, and the A7, and now our headphones. But there will be people who will ultimately want to have the very best quality systems in their home. Real music lovers, discerning listeners. And those consumers, we hope, will grow to aspire to owning some of our very high-end products, the ones we spend the most time perfecting, the ones that, frankly, we spare no expense in making the very best.
Now, I know your loudspeakers are pretty popular, but now that you're opening up your market to portable audio, portable speakers and headphones, do you think the market is going to open up for a brand like Bowers & Wilkins and it's going to pave the way for customers who will then appreciate the loudspeakers that you have to offer?
I do, and I think we have a rich heritage, as I've just mentioned. And having that heritage enables us to cascade a lot of the technologies that we've learned and developed over the years into these products. So I think the products that are going to make the difference are the products, frankly, that are better products. It's not for us to say we're the best or we're better products. I think people now, we have to find opportunities that we are present, that they have a chance to audition our products, they can hear our products, and trust your ears. You know, they're a natural instrument. You will know great sound when you hear it. And that's our goal now in India, is to get into more and more locations so that people have an opportunity to be exposed to our brand and to our products. And hopefully they'll see the value that we believe the products are worth.
Sure. Now, when people ask me personally when they're investing in a home theater system or they want a good stereo setup, and they're like, I should get a good bang for my buck. Sure, I want premium, good quality audio, but I want more bang for my buck. And my only take is that the technology hasn't evolved as much as any other sphere. If you look at video, the way we've come from flat screen, curved screen, but sound is still digital to analog, and it's still sound waves coming out of wooden boxes. So investing in a good set of good speakers, it'll take you a long way. What do you think of that? Like, what do you think is the shelf life or the life cycle of these speakers?
You know, the one thing is that if you make the perfect speaker, or you get close to making the perfect speaker, you can't really improve on it very much. You know, once it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and you have then the right amplification and everything else to match all of that, it's going to be pretty damn good. I mean, some of the finest speakers, we introduced the Nautilus product in 1993. You know, it was as close to perfection as we could make. We still haven't found a way to improve upon that. So the point here is that the digital to analog stages always has to be there. And when you perfect that, then other things in the back part of the chain can improve, and then you get the optimum performance out of that particular speaker.
Perfect. My last question to you, Brian. Who better than you to actually advise people on buying a speaker? Now, everybody has their own, take on buying a speaker. Acoustic is important. How you play out the room is important. What would be your 3 essential tips that people normally negate or don't even think about when buying speakers?
Well, one thing for sure is that you're going to have the speaker in your home. So try and listen to it in an environment that's as close as possible to where the product's going to be. Now, there are a lot of places where you can go and buy products that it may not sound as great as you hope it would sound, but take it home and listen to it in your home, because it will always sound better in your home than it will sound in a retail environment. That's one thing. The second thing I would say is trust your ears. You will hear the difference when you hear great sound. The analogy I give, it's like drinking a fine glass of red wine versus an average glass of red wine. You'll instantly be able to tell the difference. But when listening to music, be very precise about the things you want to listen for. Don't try and listen to techno music and all that kind of music first. Try and listen to acoustical instruments, pick them out, and ensure that it's able to deliver the clarity and the detail of that material. Also listen to orchestral music, because that's the hardest type of music to reproduce because of its dynamic range. And be very comfortable. Make sure it fills the room. And every system will sound a little different. They're all very close. There are lots of very, very good systems out there. Everything will sound a little bit different. You just have to have the confidence in making your decision that that difference is better for you.
Thank you so much for your time, Brian. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, and it's been a pleasure being back in India again. I love being here, and I hope to meet you again soon.